It all started with a phone call, the kind that makes your stomach drop before you even know the details. My husband's voice was tight, urgent. His father had just been rushed to the hospital, a medical emergency. He didn't know how bad it was, only that he had to get there right away. But there was a problem. Our 3-year-old son was at home with him. Someone needed to watch him. The request seemed simple enough, but in that moment, everything unraveled. First, he called upstairs to my 17-year-old son, asking if he could watch his little brother. My son refused. He had plans. He was going out with friends and didn't want to cancel. Then my husband turned to my 19-year-old daughter. She didn't even open the door. She locked herself in her room, said she was studying, and wouldn't come out. And me? I was sitting in a restaurant across town, meeting my brother's girlfriend for the first time. My brother was visiting from out of town, and in my mind, this was the only chance to make that introduction. When my husband called, I told him I couldn't just leave. So, with no one else left, he did the only thing he could think of. He took our toddler with him to the hospital. And while his father was in a bed somewhere in that building, my husband's mother, the wife of the man who had just been rushed in, ended up watching our son in the hospital waiting area. By the time he came home, the weight of it all had hardened into anger. He lashed out. His words were sharp, accusing us of being selfish, unfeeling, like we didn't care about him or his family. I tried to defend myself. The kids were busy, I said. It wasn't fair to expect them to drop everything, and I couldn't leave the lunch. It was a rare chance to meet my brother's girlfriend. He didn't want to hear it. He told me to cut the excuses, that my older son could have easily skipped the hangout, and my daughter could have watched her brother while she studied. As for me, I could have left the restaurant or brought our son there with me. His voice rose. Mine did too. And then, in the middle of that storm, he dropped the blow. He was canceling our family holiday trip for Christmas. The kids were furious. They said it wasn't fair. I told him he was being unreasonable, punishing everyone over one bad day. But he refused to talk about it any further. That night, the silence in our house was colder than the winter outside. The kids didn't speak to him. I didn't either. He just muttered, "Good riddance." Then came the update I didn't expect. He told us he wouldn't be spending Christmas with us at all. He'd be with his family. He needed to be around his dad. The kids said they'd go to their father's place instead. They didn't want to be here if things were going to stay this tense. And just like that, the picture I'd had in my head, the tree, the presents, the shared laughter, shattered. Now it seems like the problem has grown far beyond that one afternoon. My husband has made it clear. He's choosing to keep our son with him for Christmas, away from me and his siblings. I keep replaying it all in my head. That phone call, the requests my husband made, the refusals, my own decision to stay where I was. And I can't tell if we were all just caught in a bad moment, or if this was something deeper, a truth about us he's been seeing for a while. So, am I the asshole? Here's the thing. Emergencies strip away all the nice words, all the daily routines, all the polite distance. They show you, in one sharp moment, who will stand up for you when the ground shifts beneath your feet. In this story, a husband faced a moment of fear for his father, a fear that his time might be running out. And in that moment, no one in his household stood with him. Not his stepson, not his stepdaughter, not even his wife. The internet's reaction was a tidal wave of clarity. Over and over, people said it. Medical emergencies come first. Plans with friends can wait. Studying can wait. Meeting someone new can wait. Because if you love someone, you drop what you're doing when they need you most. Many pointed out that the 3-year-old in question wasn't just his child. He was her child too. That this wasn't some favor she was being asked to do, but a responsibility she had signed up for the moment she became a parent. Others called out the deeper pattern. When children see their parent dismiss someone else's urgent need, they learn to do the same. And maybe that's why this story resonated so deeply. Because at its core, it's not just about one canceled trip or one bad afternoon. It's about what we teach each other through our choices. It's about whether the people we call family know they can count on us when it matters. So here's the question for you. If someone you love called you in a moment of crisis, what would you do? Would you tell them you were busy? Or would you show up? Even if it cost you your plans, your convenience, your comfort. Because in the end, what we choose in those moments says everything about who we are. And sometimes, the moment you don't show up is the one they never forget.